Picture this. She's sitting across from you at coffee, scrolling through her phone like you're invisible. Her responses are short. Her energy feels distant. Everything about her screams, "I don't care." But here's what most people miss. The woman who claims she doesn't care is often the one who cares the most. She's not cold, she's careful. She's not indifferent. She's protecting herself from the very thing that once broke her: caring too much. Today, we're going to decode the silent language of a woman who's built walls around her heart. Because understanding her isn't just about reading her words. It's about recognizing the emotions she's desperately trying to hide. Let's be honest about something that happens in relationships every single day. You meet someone amazing. The connection feels real. Then suddenly she becomes distant, cold, like a switch was flipped overnight. Your first instinct? She's lost interest. She's playing games. She's moved on. But what if I told you that her distance might actually be proof of how much she cares? See, there are two types of silence in this world. There's the silence of true indifference, where someone genuinely doesn't care and moves on without a second thought. Then there's the silence of self-protection, where someone cares so deeply that pretending not to becomes their only defense mechanism. The woman we're talking about today lives in that second space. She's mastered the art of caring while appearing not to, and once you understand her language, you'll never misread her signals again. She acts indifferent but still notices everything. Here's where it gets fascinating. She tells you she's fine. She acts unbothered. She responds with one-word answers. But watch closely. She remembers that thing you mentioned 3 weeks ago, the one you forgot you even said. She notices when you change your profile picture within minutes of you posting it. She knows your patterns, your moods, your habits better than people who claim to be paying attention. This isn't accidental. This is the behavior of someone whose heart is paying attention even when her mouth is saying whatever. Think about it. When you truly don't care about something, do you notice every detail? Do you remember random conversations? Do you find yourself checking up on it throughout the day? Of course not. Real indifference is indifferent. But her kind of indifference? It's hypervigilant. She's watching everything while pretending to see nothing. She's listening to every word while acting like she's not hearing you at all. I once knew someone who would say, "I don't care what you do," but could tell you exactly what time you posted on social media, who liked your photos, and whether you seemed different in your stories. That's not indifference. That's someone who cares so much it hurts, but has learned that showing it makes her vulnerable. Her attention to detail isn't obsession. It's evidence. Evidence that beneath her cool exterior is someone whose world shifts every time yours does. She'll casually mention something you said days ago, not realizing her memory just betrayed her act of indifference. She notices the smallest changes, the way you dress, the tone of your laughter, the time you choose to reply. Though she may never say it outright, her mind keeps tabs on everything connected to you. She's curious, but she hides her curiosity behind a mask of cool disinterest. It's not easy for her to open up. Somewhere along the line, she learned that caring too openly invites disappointment. Maybe she cared once, gave her best, and it wasn't enough. Maybe she showed emotion and it was misunderstood. So now she's built a habit of acting unbothered, of controlling her reactions, of pretending that nothing you do affects her. But it does. It affects her deeply. She just refuses to give you the satisfaction of knowing it. Her restraint isn't lack of feeling. It's self-discipline born out of experience. Sometimes pretending not to care is a form of emotional armor. When she sits across from you, keeping her tone neutral, her body language calm, it's not detachment, it's caution. It's her trying to read whether she can trust you with what's underneath. Because if she lets you see how much she notices, how much she thinks, how much she feels, she's afraid it might make her look weak. And she's not weak. She's strong enough to silence her heart when it screams for attention. She's strong enough to smile when she wants to ask why things changed. She's strong enough to act like she's fine when she's still trying to figure out why she even cares so much. She pulls away, but never really leaves. Now here's where her behavior gets really interesting. She creates space but not emptiness. She steps back but never disappears completely. It's like she's dancing at the edge of your life, close enough to matter, far enough to feel safe. She'll ignore your text for hours, then like your Instagram story the moment you post it. She'll say she needs space, then send you a random meme that makes you laugh. She'll act too busy to hang out, then somehow show up exactly where she knows you'll be. This isn't mixed signals. This is emotional self-preservation with a GPS tracker on your heart. See, pulling away completely would be honest, but it would also be final. And despite everything she's telling herself about not caring, she's not ready for final. She's not ready to close the door completely. Because closing it would mean admitting that this connection, this thing, she's trying so hard to protect herself from might actually be worth the risk, so she hovers. She creates distance but maintains presence. She gives you space but fills it with just enough of herself to remind you she's still there. It's the emotional equivalent of leaving a light on in a house you're trying to sell. Part of her is trying to move on, but another part is hoping you'll notice the light and realize she doesn't really want to go. When she creates distance, it's rarely about disinterest. It's about fear. Fear of being too available, fear of showing too much, fear of caring more than you do. Because caring too much has hurt her before, so now she plays this delicate game of emotional hide and seek. She steps back but not out. She'll leave your message on read but still view your stories the moment they're posted. She'll ignore your call, but her heart will race when her phone lights up with your name. It's not that she doesn't care, it's that she cares too deeply and doesn't know if it's safe to show it. You might notice that she starts to withdraw just when things feel closer, more intimate. That's not coincidence. The moment she feels emotionally exposed, she starts to retreat, not because she doesn't want connection, but because she's afraid of losing it. Distance becomes her way of regaining control. She tells herself that if she steps away first, she won't be the one left behind. She convinces herself that being distant is strength, when in reality it's self-preservation. Yet even as she steps back, she leaves a door open, a small invisible doorway that keeps you connected. Maybe she'll send a random message after days of silence, something small like a meme, a song, or a comment that doesn't mean much on the surface, but speaks volumes underneath. That's her way of saying, I still care, without saying it. Her words say no, but her energy says everything. Here's something most people don't understand about human communication. We think words are the message, but energy is the truth. She can say, I don't care, with perfect vocal control. She can text whatever with zero emotion. She can shrug when you ask if she's okay. But energy? Energy doesn't lie. Her energy hums with tension when you're around. Her body language shifts when someone mentions your name. Her voice gets softer when she's talking to you, even when she's trying to sound harsh. Her breathing changes when you text her, even when she doesn't respond right away. You know what real indifference looks like? It looks like nothing. No change in heart rate, no shift in posture, no lingering glances, no extra thought given to word choice, but her. Her energy is loud with the effort of trying to appear quiet. I've watched women who claim they're over it spend 20 minutes crafting a 3-word response. I've seen them practice casual expressions in mirrors before running into someone they don't care about. I've witnessed the way their entire energy field changes when that person enters a room, even when they don't say a single word. That's not indifference. That's care wrapped in protective armor. When she says, I don't care, she's not declaring peace. She's declaring defense. It's the easiest line to hide behind when you don't want someone to know they've gotten under your skin. She's built that phrase like a wall, layering it over bruises she doesn't want to expose. Every syllable is protection, not truth, because deep down she feels too much. She feels the sting of your silence, the shift in your tone, the way you seem a little more distant. But instead of admitting that, she shrugs it off with that familiar line. She wants to sound unaffected. But her energy vibrates with emotion that refuses to stay hidden. You see it in her timing. If she really didn't care, she wouldn't reply at all. But she does, maybe late, maybe short, but still with effort. You see it in the way she reads your messages multiple times, as if searching between the lines for meaning. Her energy leaks through the spaces her words can't fill. She tells you she's fine, but something in her pauses before sending the message. That hesitation is the truth. The moment her heart argues with her pride, her energy is loud in silence. When she's around you, she tries to stay composed, but her body betrays her, leaning in slightly when you talk, stealing glances when she thinks you won't notice, softening her voice when she says your name. It's the kind of presence that says I'm over it while everything inside her whispers I'm not. Even in disagreement, her energy gives her away. When she's angry, it's not the kind of anger that comes from disinterest. It's frustration born from caring. She gets upset because she expected something, because she wanted to feel seen, because your actions mattered enough to affect her mood. If she truly didn't care, she wouldn't argue. She wouldn't overthink. She wouldn't react. But she does. She reacts deeply and then regrets it, trying to mask it behind calmness. That's the dance between emotion and self-control she keeps repeating, feeling everything, showing nothing. She watches how you handle her absence. Now we come to the most important part of understanding her psychology. She's always testing, but not in the way you think. When she goes quiet, she's not playing games, she's gathering data. When she pulls back, she's not trying to hurt you. She's trying to understand you. When she stops initiating contact, she's not losing interest, she's measuring yours. Every woman who's been hurt by someone who claimed to care has learned this harsh truth. People will tell you they care when it's convenient, but disappear when it requires effort. So now she tests differently. She doesn't ask, "Do you care?" Instead, she creates space and watches what you do with it. Will you notice when she stops reaching out first? Will you check on her when she goes quiet? Will you make an effort when she stops making it easy for you? These aren't manipulation tactics. They're survival strategies. She's learned that the people worth her time are the ones who show up even when she's not asking them to. Think about it from her perspective. She's been the one who cared more, tried harder and loved deeper. She's been the one sending the first text, making the first move, carrying the emotional load of connection. And it wore her out now. Now she wants to know if you'll meet her halfway without being asked. If you'll notice her silence and fill it. If your care is consistent enough to survive her testing period. When she pretends not to care, her silence becomes a test. Not out of manipulation, but out of self-preservation. She's not waiting for your words, she's watching your actions. Because words are easy to offer but hard to prove. And she's learned that the people who talk the most about care often show it the least. So now she studies you quietly. She observes how you respond when she withdraws, how you handle her absence, how consistent you remain when she's no longer feeding the connection. She wants to know if your effort depends on her attention or if your interest stands on its own. When she steps back, it's not because she's lost interest. It's because she's protecting it. She wants to see if you'll notice the shift, if you'll feel her silence, if you'll move toward her without being pulled. Her distance is her way of asking the question she can't voice. Will you still care when I stop making it easy for you? And in those quiet moments, she pays attention to everything. The delay in your responses, the change in your tone, the way your eyes look at her when you think she isn't watching. She's not trying to catch you. She's trying to understand you. Because here's what she's really asking through her silence. Will you still want me when I stop making myself so available? Will you still pursue me when I stop pursuing you? Will you prove that your interest isn't just a response to my attention? What you do when she goes quiet says more than what you say when she's listening. Every little moment becomes information to her, pieces of a puzzle she's trying to complete in her head. She's not trying to judge you. She's trying to figure out if your care runs as deep as hers. What she's really trying to tell you. So what's really happening inside the heart of a woman who pretends not to care? She's not heartless, she's heart careful. She's not emotionless, she's emotion protective. Every wall she's built, every distance she creates, every "I don't care" she speaks is actually evidence of how deeply she's capable of caring. The woman who says she doesn't need anyone is often the one who needs someone the most. She just needs someone who won't use that need against her. The woman who acts unbothered is often bothered by everything she just can't afford to show it until she knows it's safe. The woman who pulls away is often the one hoping someone will come closer. She just needs to know they'll stay when things get real. Her silence isn't rejection, it's protection. Her distance isn't disinterest, it's fear. Her indifference isn't real, it's rehearsed. Behind every "I don't care" is someone who once cared so much it nearly broke her. Behind every wall is someone who still believes in connection but needs proof that this time will be different. Sometimes she'll even convince herself she doesn't care anymore. She'll tell her friends she's over it. She'll fill her days with distractions. She'll act like she's moved on. But late at night, when her guard is down and the world goes quiet, her thoughts return to you. That's when the truth surfaces. The distance isn't indifference. It's longing wearing armor. She wants to reach out but doesn't want to seem weak. She wants to care but doesn't want to be the only one who does. So she lingers in that space between staying and leaving, hoping somehow you'll notice the effort she's making just to keep her feelings in check. When someone truly doesn't care, they walk away without looking back. But when she pretends not to care, she walks away slowly, glancing over her shoulder to see if you'll stop her. Her distance is never final. It's her quiet way of asking, "Do you feel my absence the way I feel yours?" She's not asking you to fix her, she's asking you to understand her. She's not asking you to break down her walls. She's asking you to be patient while she decides if it's safe to lower them. And here's the beautiful truth. When someone who's learned to protect their heart finally decides you're safe enough to trust with it, when someone who's mastered the art of not caring decides you're worth caring about, that kind of love, the kind that comes after walls, after tests, after protection, that's the kind of love that lasts. Because it's not given easily, it's not taken lightly, and it's not withdrawn quickly. Because sometimes the ones who pull away the most are the ones who are holding on the tightest. Her energy tells the story her words refuse to speak. That she feels everything, notices everything, cares about everything. She's just learned to hide it behind a fortress of "I'm fine." How to love someone who's forgotten. How to be loved. So here's what I want you to do if you recognize her in your life. First, stop taking her distance personally. It's not about you, it's about her history. Don't chase her when she pulls away, but don't disappear either. Stay consistent. Stay present. Show her through your actions that your care doesn't depend on her performance. Second, pay attention to her energy, not just her words. When she says "I'm fine," look at her body language. When she says "I don't care," listen to her tone. When she says whatever, notice if she still shows up. Third, be patient with her process. Walls built over years don't come down in days. Trust earned through consistency can't be rushed through grand gestures. And finally, and this is crucial, prove that you're different by being different. Don't just tell her you care, show her through your actions. Don't just say you'll stay, demonstrate your consistency over time. Don't just promise you're safe, create safety through your behavior, because somewhere behind her walls is someone who still believes in love. She just needs someone who's willing to love her back to that belief. The woman who pretends not to care is often the one who cares the most. She's not asking you to save her, she's asking you to see her. Really see her. Beyond the walls, beyond the distance, beyond the "I don't care." See the heart that's still hoping, still believing, still waiting for someone who won't make her regret caring again. That someone could be you. Stop trying to decode her words and start understanding her heart. Because once you do, you'll realize that her silence was never about not caring. It was about caring so much that silence felt like the only safe option, until she found someone who made caring feel safe again.